I never thought family could steal your soul and leave you breathing in someone else's skin. But there I was, crammed into a threadbare motel room on the outskirts of Queens, staring at a foggy mirror that reflected a stranger's gaunt face, my brother Ethan's. To be exact, while the real thief lounged in my penthouse, sipping single malt scotch from a glass etched with my initials. The text from my mother lit up the cracked screen of the burner phone I'd scavenged. "You're banned from Thanksgiving until you apologize for that outburst last month. We can't have you ruining the holiday like this. Avery." Outburst? That was me. The real me. Screaming at them to stop pretending the imposter in my body wasn't a fraud. They thought I was crazy, spiraling after my arrest for insider trading. Little did they know, I'd already started the unraveling, quietly, surgically, with every dollar they breathed for. It began 6 months earlier, back when life was a well-oiled machine of boardrooms and black cars. I'm Avery Harlan, or was 35, CEO of Harlan Dynamics, a mid-tier logistics firm I'd bootstrapped from Dad's garage startup into a $200 million beast. New York chewed you up if you let it. But I thrived on the grind: early mornings at the Equinox Gym, power lunches at Delmonico's, evenings sealing deals over aged bourbon. Money wasn't just currency, it was control, the kind that kept the wolves at bay. And my family? They were the biggest wolves, lapping at my trough like it was their birthright. Mom, Lydia, was the queen of passive-aggressive guilt trips, a former socialite who'd married Dad for his ambition and stayed for the alimony after his tragic heart attack, tragic enough to net her a 7-figure settlement, which she blew on Botox and brunches. My sister, Brooke, 32 and perpetually between opportunities, modeled sporadically but mostly haunted high-end boutiques, her Amex tied to my accounts. And Ethan, God. Ethan, my younger brother by 3 years. The golden boy who peaked in high school football and never climbed down. He crashed on Mom's couch in Jersey. Odd jobs at best. But always with that charming grin that made you forgive the bar tabs he forgot to pay. I enabled it all. Wired them $10,000 monthly. Covered Brooke's lease on that overpriced Soho walk-up. Footed Ethan's rehab stints after his coke-fueled benders. Family first, I'd say, echoing Dad's mantra, even as their leeches drained me dry. But beneath the handouts, resentment festered like untreated wounds. Ethan especially, he'd corner me at holidays, slurring about how I stole Dad's legacy, how he could have run the company better if I hadn't sabotaged his interview years back. Sabotaged? I'd pulled strings to get him in the door. He blew it by showing up hungover. Thanksgiving that year was at my place. The brownstone on the Upper West Side decked out like a Norman Rockwell fever dream. Crystal stemware. Heirloom silver. A caterer from Dean and DeLuca handling the bird. They arrived fashionably late, arms loaded with store-bought pies Mom passed off as homemade. Ethan clapped me on the back too hard, his breath sour with last night's IPA. Big bro. Killing it as always. When you gonna hook a guy up with a real job? Brooke air-kissed my cheeks, her Louboutins clicking on the hardwood, already eyeing the bar cart. Mom hugged me like I was a prop, whispering, "Your father's proud, wherever he is." Dinner flowed smooth at first, small talk about the market dip, Brooke's audition for a skincare ad, Ethan's vague consulting gig. Then the wine loosened tongues. Ethan leaned in, eyes glassy. "You know, Avery, I found Dad's old files in the attic. Stuff about that merger in '08. Shady shit. You covered it up, didn't you? To keep your throne." My fork paused midair. The merger, Dad's last big play. Leveraged to the hilt. Skirts cut on SEC regs to survive the crash. I'd cleaned it up post-mortem, buried the irregularities to save the firm. No one knew. I'd borne that sin alone, night after sleepless night. Audits whispering threats. What the hell? Ethan? I said, voice low. Mom's eyes widened. Brooke stifled a giggle. He pressed, waving his phone like evidence. Got proof right here. Emails. You think you're untouchable? It was bluff, had to be, but the venom in his tone cracked something in me. You want truth? Dad died broke, because of risks like that. I fixed it for all of us. Including your sorry ass. The table erupted. Mom gasped. Avery. That's uncalled for. Brooke snapped. Jealous much?
Ethan?
Avery's the only one pulling weight. But Ethan didn't back down. His face twisted. Not with hurt, but calculation. Pulling weight? Or pulling strings? One day. Bro. Karma's gonna swap you out. He laughed it off as drunk talk. But those words lodged like shrapnel. 2 weeks later. The hammer fell. Feds raided my office at dawn. Agents and windbreakers cuffing me in front of bleary-eyed staff. Insider trading. They said, trades timed to a whistleblower tip. Siphoning millions from client accounts. My accounts. But I hadn't touched a stock in months. My portfolio was locked.
Diversified.
Squeaky clean. Bail was a joke, $5 million. Posted by the firm under my signature, which somehow authorized the fraud. Lawyers swarmed, but evidence piled. Forged emails from my IP. Wire transfers to offshore shells in my name. By arraignment. The board ousted me. Shares tanked 40%. And headlines screamed Harlan Ayre's House of Cards crumbles. Prison was Rikers. Hell's antechamber, fluorescent buzz. Concrete echoes. The stench of despair. Indictment loomed, 15 years minimum if convicted. But on transfer day to federal holding, Ethan visited, smug in a suit that fit too perfectly. Tough break.
Bro.
Mom's devastated. Says you're throwing away everything she built. Sorry. We built.
His eyes.
My eyes?
No.
Just cold. Apologize. Avery. Own your shit. Maybe then family can forgive. Forgive? You set this up. He smirked. Paranoid much? Get help in there. As guards led me away, he called after. Happy early Thanksgiving. Don't burn the turkey. That night, in isolation, fever hit like a freight train, some bug from the intake meal.
Or so they said.
Hallucinations blurred, Mom's voice cooing lies. Brooke's laughter like shattering glass. Ethan's face morphing into mine. Then black. Woke strapped to a gurney in a sterile van. Not Rikers transport, but a black site clinic in Jersey. Fluorescent strips humming overhead. Men in lab coats. Clipboards. Murmuring about neural mapping and proprioceptive sync. Experimental? Black market neural transplant. Body swap tech. Whispered urban legend among Wall Street sharks. Peddled by rogue biotech firms to the ultra-rich evading mortality. Ethan's doing. He confessed in a slurred voicemail I'd pieced from fragments. Jealousy boiled over after Thanksgiving. Hired a fixer with my own siphon funds. Ironic.
That.
The procedure. Consciousness transfer. Souls swapped like Ethernet cables. Irreversible. They claimed. Unless you had the keys. He took my body. My life. I got his tattooed knuckles. Track scars. A liver pickled from years of excess. The docs. Bribed. Logged me as Ethan Harlan. Psych eval pending. Released to a halfway house under his name. No ID. No resources. Just a duffel of his ratty clothes. First days blurred into survival. Panhandling for coffee. Dodging dealers in Alphabet City. Piecing the betrayal. Ethan, in my skin, hadn't just swapped, he'd accelerated the frame. Used my access to backdate trades. Launder through family trusts. Mom and Brooke, complicit. Wiretaps I'd later hack revealed calls. He'll take the fall. Lydia. We'll split the payout. Brooke, finally. Our turn. Deep betrayal. A secret chiseled in blood money. I'd borne Dad's sins. Now they made me bear theirs. Thanksgiving loomed. A cruel joke. From a library computer, I watched live streams, Ethan as me, hosting at the brownstone, carving the bird with my steady hands. Mom beaming. Avery's turned a corner. Post-rehab. Rehab? They'd spun my disappearance as a breakdown. Empty chair at the head?
No, mine.
Filled by the imposter. Texts flooded the old number. Now his. Banned until you apologize.
Ethan.
Your behavior's toxic. Toxic? Coming from the vipers who'd sold my soul for stock tips. Rage crystallized into plan. Revenge wasn't bullets, it was severance, financial, emotional, existential. I had nothing but time and ghosts of code from my old life. Started small, fished Ethan's, my assistant for login creds, wormed into the family trust servers. Offshore accounts, layered like onion skin, but I knew the back doors. I'd built them. One by one, I rerouted funds. Mom's annuity to a dead-end came in sync. Brooke's credit lines maxed and frozen under fraud flags. Ethan's consulting LLC dissolved via anonymous SEC tip. But controversial calls loomed. First, impersonate Ethan to extract confessions. Posed as him on burner calls. Voice modulator cheap, but convincing.
Mom.
It's me. The swap, how could you? Her pause. Then tears. For the family. Baby. Avery was holding us back. Proof. Recorded. But deploying it? Blackmail or public shame. Second. Ally with a ghost from Ethan's past. A ex-con bookie he owed. Muscled via my logistics muscle memory. Help me gut him. I clear your slate. Moral line crossed. Now I was the criminal they painted. Climax brewed in December frost. Ethan as me hosted the holiday redux. A redemption dinner for investors. My brownstone aglow. I crashed as Ethan, disheveled, demanding entry. Let me in. You frauds. Security tossed me. But not before I slipped a USB into the AV rig, virus payload. Time to project emails. Trades. The swap contract scanned from a bribed doc. Screens flickered mid-toast. Lydia Harlan, co-signatory. Harlan Dynamics fraud. Gasps rippled. Ethan's face, mine, paled as feds materialized. Tip-eyed planted. They scattered like roaches. Mom wailing innocence. Brooke dialing lawyers on my dime, until account zeroed. Ethan cornered me in the alley. Fists clenched. You did this? In my body. I laughed.
His voice gravelly.
Your body? This is mine now.
Thief.
Apologize. He swung. I dodged. Years of his muscle memory, betraying him. Cops hauled me. Away. The twist unspoken. But here's the gut punch. The reversal that still chews my nights. Post-arrest. Digging deeper. I unearthed Dad's files Ethan bluffed about. Not shady merger, insurance fraud. I had covered it. But Dad's notes? He staged the heart attack. Faked death for payouts. Left us the empire on lies. Mom knew. Confessed in a panicked call to Ethan pre-swap. Tell your brother, it's in his blood. The betrayal? Deeper. Generational. I hadn't borne their sins. I'd perpetuated them. Now, Ethan's rotting in my old cell. Trial pending. I reclaimed the body via emergency reversal, text glitch. Or my hack. But the mirror lies. Whose eyes stare back? Family shattered. Mom in a studio walk up. Brooke waitressing. No more handouts. Thanksgiving invite? A terse email. Apologize. And maybe. I deleted it. Victory tastes like ash. Did I free us? Or damn us all? That's the debate rage leaves. Justice? Or just another swap? Reclaiming my skin didn't fix the itch beneath it. The phantom echo of Ethan's pulse in my veins. It's February now. Snow clogging the gutters outside my brownstone, like the grudges I can't shake. The reversal procedure was a butcher's hack, clandestine clinic in Newark. Same white coats who'd botched the swap. Now sweating under my veiled threats. Neural drift, they muttered, strapping me down as machines whirred like deranged slot machines. Agony ripped through synapses. Memories bleeding. Ethan's first blackout drunk at 16. My boardroom triumphs flickering like bad reception. When I woke, it was me again, Avery Harlan. Flesh and fury, but tainted. A suit tailored wrong. The feds dropped charges once the real doc surfaced. Ethan's prints on the forgeries. Voice analysis nailing the calls. Harlan dynamics rebounded. Shares climbing on the inside job narrative. I fed the PR machine. Investors patted my back at the NYSE gala. Toasting resilience, oblivious to the abyss I'd clawed from. But family? Radio silence fractured into shrapnel. Mom's voicemails piled. Avery.
Honey.
It was for your own good. Ethan misled us. Brooks texts, you owe me rent money. Asshole. Ethan. From holding a single postcard. Enjoy my view.
Bro.
Karma's a bitch. I could have walked away. Rebuilt clean new board. Ironclad audits. Therapy to purge the body horror. But revenge isn't a checklist. It's a virus. Replicating in the dark. The controversial pivot exposed them not just legally, but culturally. American style, turn their greed into viral infamy. The kind that brands you forever. Thanksgiving lingered like a bad hangover. That band share specter fueling it. Why stop at dollars? Strip their dignity. Make them beg in public. First target, Mom. Lydia Harlan, self-anointed matriarch. Her Instagram a shrine to blessings funded by my wire. I started subtle, leaked her emails to page 6. Redacted just enough. Lydia H. Plotting, family intervention, to seize son's assets. Tabloids ate it. Heiress mom's betrayal blues. She called. Voice quivering. This is libel. You're destroying us. Us. I echoed. You destroyed me first.
Mom.
Apologize on camera. Or the trust docs drop next. Her pause stretched eternities. Controversial? Hell yes. Forcing a mother's confession. Even a toxic one. Felt like matricide light. She caved. Posting a tearful video from her Jersey manse. I regret my role in the family strife. Avery. Forgive your misguided mother. Views exploded. 1M overnight. Comments a cesspool. Fake tears. Gold digger. Family first. My ass. I watched from my office. Scotch burning neat. A twisted vindication. But secrets unspooled further. In her video's metadata, a hidden folder, Dad's real will, not the one probated. He'd cut her out, left everything to me and Ethan split, contingent on ethical stewardship. She'd forged it post-mortem, with a notary pal from her bridge club. The sin I'd borne? Not just the merger. Her lie birthed my enabling empire. Brooke next. The wild card. My sister's a chameleon. Brunette bombshell one day. Influencer the next, but vanity's her Achilles. Her Soho loft? My gift. $8,000 per month. Now evicted notices stacking. I could have paid it off. Called truce. Instead, I funneled her modeling gigs through a shell. Bookings that ghosted. Agents blackballing her for ethics breach. Desperate. She hit my line. Avery. This is insane. Ethan's the villain. Not me.
Lies.
Hacked cams in her apartment caught her shredding docs, Harlan ledgers. Her signatures on the fraud shells. Decision point. Go nuclear. I set up the sting, posing as a recruiter for a luxury brand ambassador role. Audition in a Tribeca loft. Wired for sound. She arrived in Gucci, pitching her relatable luxury shtick. Midway, I triggered the feed, live stream to her followers. Brooke Harlan confesses to corporate coup. Her words, unfiltered. Avery was blind. We just redirected. Feed cut at 500K views. Her Insta imploded. Brands fleeing like rats. Controversial? Absolutely, doxing kin. Turning sibling rivalry into spectacle. But as she banged on my door that night, mascara rivers, screaming, "You bastard," I felt the scales tip. Apologize.
Brooke.
Own it. Or vanish. She didn't. Crashed instead. OD on Xanax and Rose. Woke in Bellevue. Hospital call. She's stable. Mr.
Harlan.
Says you're next. Guilt nod. Had I pushed too far? Or was this the hidden secret? Her fragility I'd ignored. Enabling her spiral as much as the cash? Ethan loomed largest. The architect. From MCC Manhattan. He lawyered up with my retainers until I iced the accounts. Letters arrived. Scrawled venom. You think you won? I lived your life better. Felt the power. Power? He torched it. Board revolts. SEC probes lingering like smoke. I visited once. Glass partition cold as our blood. His face, mine. Still, twisted. Swap back was sloppy. Docs say neural echo. I'm in your head forever. Avery. Bluff or truth. Nightmares followed. His urges surfacing. Sudden cravings for blow. Fists itching for walls. The real bomb. His cellmate's tip. Smuggled via a guard I'd greased. Ethan hadn't acted alone, a partner.
DR.
Elias Crow. The swap surgeon. Biotech dropout with ties to dark web elites. Crow's the power player, cunning. Untouchable. Funding anti-aging cults in Silicon Valley knockoffs. He'd eyed Harlan Dynamics for logistics on proprietary cargo. Human cargo. Perhaps. Ethan sold me out for a cut. But Crow? He held the kill switch. A failsafe to yank consciousness mid-swap if payments lagged. Climax brewed in spring thaw. Crow summoning via encrypted drop, meet. Or your family's loose ends tighten. Controversial apex. Ally with the devil to gut him. I flew to his Napa compound, vineyards masking labs, posing contrite. Fix the echo. Doc. Name your price. Dinner under stars. Wagyu and whispers. He boasted swaps for oligarchs. Eternal youth. American dream reloaded. Proof? Hidden cam in my cufflink captured it all. But twist, he knew the ploy. Countered with a dart, paralytic, waking me in a hopper cell. Prepped for recalibration. Escape was improv. Shorted the maglocks with a smuggled capacitor. Burst into the server room. Terminals hummed with souls, data ghosts of the swapped. I torched it. Flames licking code. Crow's empire, digital pyre. Fled as alarms wailed. His roar echoing. You'll swap alone forever. Back in New York. Feds swarmed Crow on my anonymous drop. Trafficking charges. Human experimentation. Ethan flipped. Testified for leniency. Avery forced me. Lies. But it stuck the knife. Sentenced to 20. No swap reversal clause. I visited the grave, his or mine, with a single word. Apologize. Silence. But the reversal's curse lingers. Impulses. Dreams where I'm him. Poor and raging. Family fragments reform. Mom's tentative brunches. Brooks' rehab check-ins. Dollars flow again. Trickle. But trust?
Severed.
Was revenge catharsis or cage? The debate festers. Thanksgiving ghosts whispering. Summer heat waves baked the city into submission, but my blood ran colder than the AC in my corner office. Harlan Dynamics hummed again, acquisitions in green logistics. Stock at all-time highs, but victory felt hollow, like applause for a puppet show. The body swaps aftershocks, subtle sabotage, migraines that dropped me mid-meeting, flashes of Ethan's alley fights overlaying boardroom handshakes. Neurologists called it synaptic residue, prescribed beta blockers and mindfulness apps. Bullshit. It was him, clawing from the ether, reminding me the thief never fully leaves. Family's orbit tightened, gravitational pull of shared shame. Mom initiated reconciliation Fridays, neutral ground at Le Bernardine. Her treating on a pension I'd reinstated at half-mast. Avery, darling, let's bury the hatchet, she'd say, pearls clacking like judgment. I'd nod. Fork caviar. But inside, calculus of cuts. Controversial calculus. Forgive piecemeal or enforce total surrender. Last Friday, she slid a folder across Damask, Dad's unredacted journals. Read this. Explains everything. Pages yellowed. His scrawl, Lydia's ambitions eclipse mine. The attack, staged for insurance. Yes, but her idea. Avery, shield the boys. Don't let her poison the well. Poison. The secret I'd buried deeper than his casket. Why now? I pressed. Her eyes. Watery blue.
Dodged.
Ethan's letters from inside. He says you're unraveling. Like me after your father. Unraveling? Or awakening? I pocketed the journal. Wired her an extra $2,000, carrot before stick. That night, alone with bourbon, Dad's words unlocked vaults. The merger fraud? His ploy too. Looped in Mom for deniability. I'd borne it. Confessed internally. But the real crime? Their pact excluded us kids. Pawns in a long con. Betrayal layered like phyllo. Crisp and cutting. Brooks' rehab stint in the Hamptons, my dime again, yielded progress reports. Patient exhibits remorse. Seeks amends. She emerged tanned.
Tentative.
Crashing my gym session unannounced. Avery. I was lost. The money. It blinded me. We sparred on ellipticals. Sweat sinking like old times. But her eyes flicked to my Rolex.
The tell.
Test. I forgot my wallet post-workout. She covered the smoothie run, then ghosted.
Sloppy.
Hired a PI, $5K well spent, uncovering her side hustle. OnlyFans Lite. Ex-heiress exposes family secrets. Clips teased. Inside the Harlan betrayal. Views monetized. But subscribers? My bots. Inflating then crashing her algo. Decision. Intervene or incinerate. Controversial mercy. Confront private. Met her at a dive in the village. Neon buzzing accusations. Brooke. This path. It's Ethan's echo. She crumbled. Phone shattering on Formica. You cut us off, what choice? Truth stung. My revenge birthed her desperation. We talked till last call. Her tears real. My walls cracking. Apologize on your terms. But pull the vids. She did. Deleted Empire in a binge wipe. Now, she's interning at the firm. Entry-level grind. Earning her keep. Progress. Or pity. The line blurs in blood ties. Ethan's the black hole. Sucking light. His appeals dragged. Pro bono crusaders painting him victim of corporate greed. Media sniffed. Harlan twin torment. Who's the real monster? I could have buried him deeper. Leaked psych evals from the swap. His coke logs, but restraint felt like rust. Instead, the power play, visit unannounced. Contraband in my briefcase. Not drugs. Letters from Dad's journal. Photocopied. Read this.
Ethan.
Our legacies rot started before me. He snatched them through plexi. Eyes devouring. So what? We're Harlan's thieves by birth. Defiance cracked on page 47. Dad's addendum. Ethan. My wild one. Temper your fire. Or it'll consume Avery's steadiness. Ethan's face, familiar stranger, crumpled.
He saw me as.
What? Sidekick.
No.
Equal. If you'd earned it. We talk circuits, him raging at mom's manipulations. Me admitting my enabling arrogance. Truce? Fragile as rice paper.
Apologize, I said.
Not for the swap, for choosing envy over us. He nodded. Once. Before guards yanked him. But the antagonist descended. Crow. Out on bail. His Napa fiefdom a fortress of lawyers. Whispers in VC circles. He's pivoting. Consciousness consulting for billionaires dodging death taxes. My controversial gambit. Infiltrate. Not assault. Posed as investor at a TEDx knockoff in Austin. The future of self 2.0. Crowd of tech bros in teas. Sipping adaptogens. Lapping his spiel. Body sovereignty. Reclaim your narrative. Post-talk mingle. I cornered. Dr.
Crow.
Harlan here. Your procedure saved my brother. Let's discuss scaling.
He bit.
Eyes gleaming avarice. Private jet to Sonoma. Vineyard tour masking vetting. Overduck confit. He probed. The swap, regrets? Enlightenment. But the echo? Fixable. Bait taken. He demoed a prototype. Neural scrubber. Wiping residual psyches. For a partner like Harlan Dynamics? Exclusive. Hook set. Back in New York. I fed him dummy contracts. Logistics bids laced with trackers. His servers pinged. Client lists senators. CEOs. Souls bartered like NFTs. Climax tension coiled. The board meeting where I'd expose. But twist teased Crow's email. Encrypted. Avery. Or should I say Ethan? Your visits echo his patterns. Careful, some swaps leave ghosts. Paranoia spiked. Was the reversal botched? Or him?
Projecting?
Sleepless. I audited my impulses. Gym aggression, Ethan's. Yes. But the cold calculus? Mine. Amplified. Family converged for Labor Day barbecue. Tentative normalcy on my terrace. Ribs from blue smoke. Skyline glittering accomplice. Mom fussed platters. Brooke manned the grill. Even a video call from Ethan. Pixelated but present. Toasts clinked. To second chances. Laughter bubbled. Real for a beat. But as dusk fell, Mom pulled me aside. Your father's secret. He faked more than death. The accident? Staged to hide embezzlement from partners. Layers peeled infinite. I'd borne sins plural. A mosaic of mendacity. Revenge evolved. Not eradication, but excavation. Controversial closure. Invite Crow to Thanksgiving early. Family summit. His reply, intriguing. Let's rewrite histories. Tension thrummed. The holiday loomed. Not as feast, but forum. Dollars withheld as leverage. Apologies extracted like teeth. But in the quiet, doubt whispered, was I healing or hollowing us out? The American dream, rags to riches, kin to kings, crumbled under scrutiny, leaving bones to pick. Autumn leaves choked the sidewalks like unspoken apologies, crunching under my loafers as I paced Central Park's loops, prepping for the showdown. Thanksgiving week. The brownstone prepped by a service, neutral ground, no heirlooms to weaponize. Invites sent terse, come. Or forfeit final ties. Mom RSVP'd with a quivering yes. Dear Brooke. Trying. Ethan. Paroled early on cooperation. A supervised cab from Otisville. Crow, the wild card. Jetting in from Napa. Eager to mediate. Revenge's crescendo wasn't violence. America's too litigious for that, but a ritual of reckoning. Dollars as daggers. I'd frozen the remnants. Mom's bridge club dues. Brooke's yoga sub. Ethan's re-entry stipend. Apologize, the invites stipulated, or walk penniless. Controversial core, extortion via empathy. Forcing vulnerability in a culture screaming boundaries. But secrets demanded air, the family's rot. Dad's faked demise. Demanded daylight. Crow arrived first. Chauffeured Bentley purring curbside. His aura cologne sharp, bespoke tweed. Smile like a scalpel. Avery or whoever's piloting. Charming setup. We toured the dining room. Table set for phantoms. Name cards in calligraphy. Empty chairs mocking. Mediation, he echoed. Amused. Or inquisition? I poured him a pre-dinner scotch. Fingers steady. Truth serum. You start. The swap. Why Harlan? He savored. Eyes appraising. Your brother shopped ambition. I supplied tech. But you? The perfect vessel, driven. Isolated. Echoes make better men. Confession flowed. Recorded subtle in the sideboard clock. Client names dropped. Swaps for evading justice. Powers porn, his intoxicating. Join me, he pressed. Logistics for eternity. Temptation flickered. Immortality's allure, but Ethan's ghost recoiled.
No.
Expose it and walk. He laughed.
Low.
Bold. But leverage. Your neural logs show drift. One call. And you're Ethan again. Bluff. I triggered the trap. EMP pulse from the chandelier rig. Frying his phone. Alarms silent. Guards my detail. XSLS materialized. Feds en route.
Elias.
Your empire's audited. His face cracked. Not fear, but respect.
Touché.
But family's the real swap. Watch them devour you. Doorbell chimed. Players assembled. Mom in Chanel knockoff. Pearl stranglehold. Brooke. Sober chic in cashmere. Fidgeting. Ethan last. Shackled aura. Parole anklet beeping soft. Hugs awkward as wet cement, Mom's lingering. Brooke's pat. Ethan's bro-class place tension. Good to be topside, he muttered. Crow played host.
Urbane.
Toasting new narratives. Turkey carved. Sides passed, acorn squash. Cranberry relish. No gravy. Too symbolic. Conversation skirted minds. Weather.
Stocks.
Then I detonated. Dad's journal. Read it. Past copies. Pages rustling like indictments. Mom blanched. Brooke scanned. Ethan devoured. Silence thickened. He faked it all, I said. The heart attack. The will. We bore his lies. I bore them. Mom's fork clattered. For security. Avery. The world choose dreamers. Brooke. He left us nothing, you built it.
Ethan. Bull.
He saw us as failures. Fissures widened. Crow interjected. Silk. Families swap roles eternal. I merely accelerated. Revelation rippled. His role confessed casual. As if brunch chatter. Mom gasped. You knew? Ethan snarled. Shut it. Doc. Chaos brewed. Accusations volleyed. Wine spilled like bloodless wounds. My move, the ledger. Projected on the wall, transfers. Forgeries.
Swap invoices.
Your signatures.
All.
Apologize. Or this feeds 60 minutes. Controversial zenith. Ultimatums at the table. American Thanksgiving twisted into tribunal. Mom wept first. I'm sorry.
Son.
Greed blinded. Your father's shadow. Real or survival?
Brooke followed.
Voice small. I envied you. Took instead of built. Forgive. Ethan locked eyes, mine. Once, I stole your skin to wear mine right. Apology?
Yeah.
But you stole my fire young. Crow smirked, touching. My regret? Underestimating the Harlan spite. Dollars dangled. Reinstate. With conditions, therapy, restitution. No more ghosts. Nods rippled.
Tentative.
But climax crested when Ethan lunged, not at me. But Crow, you peddled eternity, gave us hell. Scuffle brief. My guards intervening. Feds breach then. Siren symphony. Cuffing Crow mid-monologue. This is entrapment, he barked. Truth, I countered. Yours. Finally. As they hauled him. Family deflated, shells of schemers.
Exposed.
Mom clutched my hand. We end the cycle? Brooke nodded. Ethan. From floor. Or swap it anew. Laughter bubbled. Manic. Cathartic. Plates cleared cold. But bonds? Fractured fresh. Rebuildable maybe. Post-feast. Alone in the kitchen. Doubt crashed. Had I orchestrated justice? Or just another con? Secrets unearthed. But the deepest, my complicity in Dad's myth, mirrored theirs. Revenge's high faded to hollow. Dollars flowing again. But trust? A promissory note. Interest accruing. Winter gripped Manhattan like a grudge. Icicles daggering eaves as the new year dawned gray. Harlan Dynamics holiday party glittered. Black ties swarm in the plaza's ballroom. Champagne flutes clinking toasts to resilience reborn. I worked the room. Suit Armani sharp. Smile practiced. But beneath? The swap scar etched, a neural tattoo reminding victory's veneer cracks easy. Family integrated tentative, mom volunteering at the firm's charity arm. Brooke shadowing ops. Ethan on probationary consultant gig, low-stakes audits. Chains invisible but tight. Apologies lingered. Performative at first, mom's card scented lavender. Brooke's texts emoji-laden. Ethan's gruff thanks. Man-s. But therapy mandate stuck. Group sessions in a midtown high-rise. Circle of folding chairs where we dissected the rot. Enabling as abuse, the shrink droned, her voice neutral as oatmeal. Mom confessed dad's staging in sobs. He whispered it during chemo, fake symptoms for payout. I enabled for the girls' school. Brooke, your success shamed mine. I stole to shine. Ethan, jealousy swapped us before tech. Your shadow eclipsed.
Me?
I bore it all. Built walls of wire transfers. Revenge? My inheritance. Healing? Debatable. Controversial coda. Reinstating funds with strings, tithes to a family trust. Overseen by a neutral fiduciary. Earnings clawed back for reparations. Mom grumbled at first. Charity begins at home. But complied. Her bridge games now public. Transparency her penance. Brooke thrived odd. Ops in turn logistics whiz. Her ex-heiress, arc pitching diversity hires.
Ethan?
Struggled. Relapses flirting. But his audits? Sharp. Uncovering a mole in shipping, bonus irony. My trust repaid. Crow's trial-dominated spring feeds. Biotech baron busted, soul-swapping scandal. Testimony grilled. Ethan's tearful. I sold my brother for a second chance. Mom's, we were desperate. My planted dock ceiling. Conviction. Life. No parole. His Napa labs raised. But his final letter. Smuggled pre-sentencing. Avery. The twist? Your neural echoes mine now. Ambition's the real swap. Who piloted whom? Paranoia peaked. Scans clean. But doubts? Eternal. Twist reversed hardest in April bloom. Dad's grave exhumed on a tip. Coroner's anomaly. Autopsy redux, no staging. Heart attack real. Journals? Forged by mom postmortem. Her guilt scribing to absolve. He died clean, she admitted in session.
Voice ash.
I wrote the confessions to explain our mess. Blamed him for my greed. Reversal gutted. The sins I'd borne? Phantom. Self-inflicted. Betrayal? Familial. Yes. But my enabling birthed the beast. Ethan hadn't stolen a throne. I'd loaned it.
Keys in hand.
Climax echo. Impromptu Thanksgiving redux. June heat mocking tradition. Backyard barbecue in the Hamptons. My apology for the purge. Table groaned. Lobsters air freighted. Slaw from Amy's. Beers sweating condensation. No empty chairs, all filled. Ghosts banished. Toast sloshed moms to truths, however ugly. Brooks to building. Not borrowing. Ethan's to swap survived. Mine to cutting cords that choke. Laughter flowed freer. Stories swap sans spite. Dad's real quirks. Like midnight pancake flips. But as sun dipped, the debate ignited. Ethan's quiet. Was revenge right? We lost years. Mom, necessary purge. Brooke, costly grace.
Me?
Silent calculus. Happy ending? Or by tragic farce. Firm thrived. Family functional, therapy Tuesdays. Shared Sundays. But the scar? Irrevocable. Dollars flowed, equitable now. No leeches. But power? Diffused. Diluted. Final hook, that night. Insomnia gripped. Mirror mocking. Whose reflection? Avery's. But eyes, Ethan's flicker? Or Dad's? The ultimate swap, identity. Fluid as code. Readers, you judge. Was it justice's feast? Or vengeance's famine? Apologize if you side with mercy, cut off if spite sings.
Me?
I carve my own turkey. Flavor uncertain, but mine. In the end, the band chair fills with questions, not people. And that's the American gut punch. Freedom to forgive. Or forever sever. Choose your plate.